Hi, my name is Eline, and with this podcast, I dive deep into the world of chronic illness. What is living with a chronic illness like? What are ways to redefine your purpose when life hit you so hard? How do people do this? I am on the lookout for answers to find out if there is a way to have a life filled with freedom, joy, and happiness, even when it feels like you're a prisoner in your own body. Welcome. Welcome back to the 6th episode of the Spoonies Community Podcast. My name is Eline.
And I'm Marcus.
And today we're here again to talk.
Yeah. And probably touch on the elephant in the room that we've changed how we're doing this.
Yeah. We're just going to keep on trying, right?
Yeah. I think with the first one, the last episode that we did, felt more like an interview, like we didn't know each other, and less like a conversation. And I think it's better for us to be closer to each other.
Yes.
I think it's much more interactive.
Yes.
So that's what we're doing.
Amazing.
What's the topics for today? Am I deciding?
You can decide.
Okay. So one of the things I wanted to discuss was traveler. And the reason why I think this is important is that we just spent the weekend in Valencia. So for those that don't know, we live in Ibiza, in Spain, and we live very close to obviously the mainland. And for your birthday, which is next week, I decided to take you to Valencia and do a short trip. But whilst we were there, I was like, oh, wow, how far we've come from doing these trips, but also sharing with people what it's like in the early days when we were doing trips, what we need to plan, what goes into it, how does it feel for you, how does it feel for me? So it's kind of, a topic of traveling and all of the things that come with it.
Yeah, beautiful topic.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah.
So for you, what's it like with the wheelchair? What's it like? I'd say now, because we've just been on the trip, and then we can reflect back. What's it like preparing to go on a trip that is involving an airplane? What's it like getting to an airport? You talked about spoons before and the energy that it takes for doing trips. What's it like when you're doing one of those trips? How do you prepare yourself?
Wow. That's
a lot of questions, sorry.
No, it's great. It's a very big question. So I prepare differently now than when I did in the beginning, because I have more spoons spare.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't plan anything else on travel day, and preferably already like the evening or afternoon before as well, so that I kind of have like a whole block to prepare. I always bring my earphones.
Yeah,
Not earplugs.
Earplugs, not
earplugs. Sorry, not earphones. I always bring my earplugs.
Yeah.
Because that really helps to
minimize the noise, distractions, etc.
And all of those things are taking spoons. I love Ibiza Airport because I by now know the assistance team.
Yeah, they're super friendly.
They're so friendly. They're so helpful at all times. So I really trust them, and that really helps.
Yeah.
So in terms of prep, I just make sure that I have some time beforehand. And obviously when we come back as well, time afterwards, because my pain levels are usually higher after a flight.
And why is that? Is it because of the compression or something?
Could be like air pressure, maybe just the fact that you're doing so much, you've got so much going on, and there's always an element.
You say prickles.
Yes.
And what is prickles for anyone that's not speaking the language of Dutch?
It's basically stimulations. Okay. So noise, light, conversations, people, anything that makes your eyes move, I always feel as well. So it's basically stimulations. And I think that doesn't help towards the pain levels. So also what I'm really still struggling with, and you probably noticed that in Valencia as well, like I'm really a person, like if when we arrive, I want to go out and explore.
Yeah.
And I can't, like my body tells me,
I have to rein you in a little bit.
Yeah, just a tiny bit.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that we've noticed over these last few years is when we first started going on trips and doing traveling after the first accident, after the second accident, we would have things planned in. Like we would have dinners planned in. We've got to go and see X, Y, and Z, like a museum or whatever it is. With this trip, I didn't book anything because I've also learned that managing your energy levels is really a day-by-day thing.
Yeah.
And usually once we arrive in a location, you're tired or needed rest or a nap or something, and then we'll go and explore. But then it might happen again. So I always feel like we have to have a bit more of a free flow, which is actually great, like getting more used to that. Have you noticed the change as well?
Yeah, I definitely think it's something that you get more used to. I still find it very hard, but you're helping me in accepting it. Let's say like that. We slept every day. We had a siesta from like 2 until 5 every single day. Yeah. Like that is not something that I would have imagined doing, you know.
No, you're an explorer. Like you want to go out and
experience and feel the city, but yeah. And also one big thing that also doesn't help is the wheelchair anxiety.
Yeah.
Is my wheelchair going to arrive safely?
And actually we've, over the last few years, we've been wrapping your wheelchair in bubble wrap. So once we've gone through security, once we get to the gate, we have a separate bag where we've got bubble wrap and some sellotape, sticky tape. And we will then bubble wrap the wheels. And I think for passengers, they must think, what on earth is going on? Because
how many times have we had comments like, it's a brand new wheelchair? Yeah. Like, no, dude, it's not.
No. Or just people like looking, wondering, what? Yeah. She's in a wheelchair. She's going to get out of it. She's bubble wrapping it as a gift. Like, everyone looks so confused.
It's so true.
And yeah, I mean, it's helped because I think just psychologically, for the people that are then, you know, the ground staff that are looking after it, they then, I think subconsciously will start to look after it a little bit more and make sure that it's okay. Because I know for you, it's one of your biggest worries because you've seen so many videos or stories about wheelchairs or equipment getting broken.
Yeah. And that really is something that is a very big problem in like
aviation.
I think on average there's I don't know, I can't remember numbers right, but many wheelchairs do get broken, especially in the US, I have to say that, but it is not uncommon for a wheelchair to break, and an airplane is the only
mode of transport
that asks people in a wheelchair to get out of their wheelchair and leave the wheelchair in another place. Metros, trains. All of those modes of transport don't require that. And to me, it's also like a moral thing. If we can build whole suites and big bars and lounges in a plane, why can't we build something that is
a seat that can lift the seat actually up and just wheel a wheelchair in?
Yeah. And the thing is, it's there already. So their British presenter, Sophie Morgan, has a, how do you say that? Like a
program?
Well, she also has that, but it's called Rise for Flights. And campaign. Yes, thank you.
It's okay.
And she's really striving to make a change in aviation. Yeah. And the thing is, the chair's already there.
Yeah, we've seen
the design is there. Now it's a matter of getting all the legalities done and sorted, and the actual will of the big companies to spend the money to do this.
Well, the thing is, it's not like that chair has to be only used for wheelchair users at all. It's a normal chair or standard chair where the seat goes up and you can then roll in a wheelchair. So it's suitable for many people, but it can still operate as a standard chair for any other guests as well. So it's not of passengers. It's not like it's saying this is only for those passengers. No. So I don't see why they wouldn't. No.
I know. And it you know, if you think about it, people actually die from having their wheelchair broken on a flight because some of the wheelchairs are so highly personalized and they take years sometimes to get either sorted or to get them a new wheelchair, which means years for people in a wheelchair that doesn't properly suit them with all the consequences that it has, like pressure sores. People have actually died from this, and that's why I find it very important to talk about it, because it is something that really needs to change. Yeah. Sophie Morgan, if you hear this podcast and you want to talk about it with me, want to tell me everything about Rights of Flights, let me know, because I would love to have you on the podcast.
Yeah, no, I think it's an important topic, because I think for a lot of people, they think that a wheelchair is a standard wheelchair for all. So your wheelchair will be the same as Roberta's wheelchair down the road. I don't know why Roberta. I think it's because our friend Robert had his birthday yesterday and I'm now calling it Roberta. So, but with the chairs, everyone thinks that they're just standard.
Yeah.
And yes, you're going to have standard ones, which will be at an airport that people get transferred into, but actually your own wheelchair is tailored for you. It is set up for you, even as the most standard one. So one that you use, I would say, is the most standard because of...
I used before.
Yeah. So you used before. But for those people that have much more special needs and like that type of thing, theirs is, you said it takes months, if not years, to get these built and made and approved. And the other thing is they're super expensive.
Yeah.
It's not like €1,000. Wheelchairs cost, 5, 10, 20,000, if not more, for the real specific specialized ones.
Well, not the real specialized one. Mine is already, I'm going to be very open and transparent. My wheelchair, which is not highly specialized and personalized, is €10,000.
Yeah. It's a lot. Yeah.
So imagine a motorized, highly personalized one with the back up until the neck support with hand, motor, etc. Imagine what that would cost.
Yeah, and it's not even like if it's a big break. I mean, it's not like you have a car and you can go to a garage and suddenly get the windscreen repaired or the wheel repaired. With a wheelchair, you then need to send that off or find a specialist person to fix it. And then you are out not able to use that wheelchair as well. So then you need a spare, which people don't have.
Yeah.
So there's lots of things that happen with it. It's an important topic. But for you, with traveling, back to traveling. How's it changed from when we had the first accident, the second accident? So, we went on trips to New York, we went trips to Curacao.
Yeah.
We did long trips. We just went to Japan for our honeymoon. What's it like from those early stages going through to where we are now? Like, how's it changed for you?
It has changed in terms of that I feel more comfortable now. Before I had my leg up, so I was very long, from my back until my leg, I was very long. So that made me feel quite insecure because if you just have a leg straight up, people walk into that. So I feel more secure now. I'm still really struggling, especially now. I'm in this weird phase where I feel kind of like an alien everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am not all the time in a wheelchair.
No.
Yet we don't go anywhere without my wheelchair. Traveling,
no.
We've
don't. Not done it yet, no.
No, because I wouldn't know how unless we get taxis everywhere, but that kind of beats the purpose of traveling, I think. So I'm in this weird phase of I'm not a full-time wheelchair user anymore, but I definitely cannot live without my I cannot really enjoy and travel cities without my wheelchair.
No.
So I think that's a massive part that's changed, where I also now feel I haven't moved my body. You get these pains and aches, lower back pain because I've seated so much. And there is this part, we were in Valencia, we arrived, and I saw this old couple.
Yeah, bless him.
He was pushing her in the wheelchair, but he basically needed a wheelchair himself by the way he was walking. And that frightens me, to be honest, because I'm like, is that going to be you? Will I don't want you to have to give up yourself or your own boundaries or your own, I mean that, your own physical things. I don't want you to have to put that aside because I need to go to places. And I don't know what the future holds. I don't know if I can push your wheelchair at one point. We're old.
God forbid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know that worries you, and it's something that we've talked about in the past many times. But I'm not going anywhere, so it's really not a concern you should have. And if anything, I'll have many years of practice of pushing you by then. So
we'll talk about that when it comes. Yeah. So travel now, what it also does really give me on a very positive note is that I can literally live on one trip for months.
Yeah.
The new inputs, the new things I've learned, the immersing myself into places, seeing new things. It helps also in a way of stimulating your brain again to see new things. I mean, I was, just to put this in perspective, especially after my second accident, but also after my first. Actually, let's start with my first. I was terrified to go on any mode of transport.
Yeah, you were.
Train, horrible panic, full-blown panic attacks. Trams, I didn't go into trams for years because I was so terrified. My mom picked me up from London to fly with me back to Holland because I was in complete panic mode.
Yeah.
Not only that, after the second accident, I was even too scared to go to the corner of our road in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And so I know how important it is to do those things. Push yourself in those ways, because otherwise your world will get so insanely small.
Yeah.
Of course, it's different for people with CFS or ME, like chronic fatigue syndrome, where exertion is really pushing people to get more tired. And yet at the same time, if the corner of the road is too big of a step, step out of your bedroom. Just stand in the opening of the door of your bedroom to just take in the hallway.
Yeah.
You know, and really do try and push yourself to do that, because it will give you so much freedom in return when you do that. Doesn't mean that I'm never terrified anymore. No. Like, Japan was our first really long trip.
Yeah.
After ages, of course I'm going to be very nervous for that. And of course I'm going to be wondering, will my leg be okay? Will my body be okay? I know I shouldn't drink alcohol, you know, like those kind of things. Like, I won't drink alcohol on the plane. So I will prepare as much as I can in order for it to be a success.
Yeah.
But
we've also, when we've gone traveling over the years, realized that we need to take away as much of the stress as possible. And what I mean by that is, you know, when we arrive in a new city, let's not try and get the bus or the train to the hotel. Let's get in a taxi and make it as simple as possible to get us from A to B. We did that a lot in Japan, where it's a great thing about the culture. When you're going from one hotel to the next, you can send your bags ahead and they'll arrive the next day. So we just have a backpack, which meant we could take the train. So I think a lot of the things we've also done with traveling is try to take away any of those additional stresses to make it a lot more straightforward for us.
What is traveling like for you with me?
Planning. It's a lot of planning. Yeah, it is. And you know, this goes from, is the flight really early, or are we getting a late flight? That will mean disrupted sleep. Will it mean that we've had breakfast? For you also, you know, you're gluten-free and other things, which means when we get to an airport, there's usually not a lot for you to eat. So it's then planning, okay, well, will we have breakfast before? I need to get in touch with every airline to book assistance for you. Some are way easier than others. Some of them are horrendous. And actually, this is something we noticed with Ryanair. Yeah, sorry, Ryanair, I'm going to bash you now. But with most airlines, if you book assistance, they will automatically seat you together. Me as the carer, you as the person. And with Ryanair, they don't do that. They will still give you random allocation seats. You have to insist that you are sat next to each other and explain why. And then they will do it if you get someone good on the other end of the phone. But it's a real push to explain to them why that's the case. With other airlines, it's really automatic. So it does take planning on that circumstance to do those parts. I'm also looking at how far away is the hotel from the airport, from the train station. What are the things that are around there that are close by that you might be able to walk to as an option? And this trip in Valencia, we were in a great place called Resafa. Loads of bars and things like that. So you were able to do some walking without the wheelchair, which I think was also nice to give you some independence from it.
Do you remember what I said when we got into the taxi?
No, what did you say?
It's like, it feels so
we didn't,
naked.
You didn't, because we didn't take your crutches with you this time either. No, that was
the first time.
Yeah, we just took the wheelchair because we're like, well, we haven't got the wheelchair, then, you know, won't need the crutches. We actually went out walking around the area and went for dinner without your crutches or the wheelchair. And I think that's the first time we've done that. Apart from here in Ibiza, because we can drive to a lot of places. And that's the first time we've done it. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of planning that goes involved with it. I'm just super happy that we're doing it. I think that's the main thing. Is I've heard of a lot of people, you know, that go through not similar circumstances, but where someone's unable to travel and they don't go outside of their home, outside of their city. Whereas we, ever since the start of the accidents, you know, have gone and just been like, why can't we? Why can't we go and travel to New York really soon after your first accident? And everyone was telling us, why on earth are you doing this? I'm like, well, why not? Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? And I think through those experiences, we've really figured it out as to what makes sense.
Yeah, it's a learning curve.
Yeah, massively. It's taken us 8 years to work out what's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I would also really say, like, really take on the luxury that you can afford. I think what's such a good point, what you said now as well, like, we won't take a 6 or 7 a.m. flight unless there is literally no other option, because disrupted sleep will not help me for the days to come.
No, exactly.
And so we, even if it's like, whatever euros, like more expensive. Yeah, we would choose comfort. And I think for everyone listening, like, allow yourself the luxury that you can afford.
Yeah.
Of course, if you can't afford it, it's a completely different story. Like, I wouldn't buy first class suites on airports because unfortunately we can't afford that.
No.
But, choosing one flight later, that is something that we can afford. Yeah. So we would choose those luxuries, and please, everyone, like, allow yourself to give yourself that extra comfort.
Yeah, and enjoy it as well.
And enjoy it. Yeah. Go for it, no?
Yeah. Well, that's it. You're doing a trip away, so try and enjoy it as much as you can.
Yeah. And what about walking me everywhere in the cities and places?
You asked me a question this weekend. Do you remember what you asked me?
No.
No?
What did I say?
Do I ever think about...
Oh, yeah.
It was like, what was it?
Yeah, this is another thing. Okay, I'm going to be very vulnerable here. That's why I create this podcast, right?
Yeah, exactly. Vulnerability. And I'm going to get my tea ready.
Yeah. So I asked you the question, do you ever have these... Marcus, for everyone not watching, Marcus just dropped all of his hot tea on his...
trousers.
Sure, trousers.
Yeah. I'm very clumsy sometimes, so this is not strange. Go ahead.
No, fair enough. Okay, back to the question. Do you ever have the thoughts when you see someone walking and when you've, like, probably tired of pushing me around the whole city, do you ever have the thoughts, Jesus, like, Eline can walk, why is she not just walking?
Yeah, you asked me this as I was pushing you. And no, I've not. I've never had the thought of Eline can walk, why is she not walking? I do push you sometimes to, if you've been in the chair for a while, and if I see that there is more of a space in front of us, like it's in a quieter area, I'll say, do you want to get up and do some walking, like stretch your legs? I also know it's good for you. Like it's good for you to stretch your legs and it's good for you to get that mobility. But I've never once had the thought of, oh my God, why don't you just walk? Like it's never crossed my mind. I've had the thoughts of, I'm really tired and I've got another 40-minute walk back uphill. Like I'm pretty done, which is usually when I go really quiet when I'm pushing you. So, not to have much of a conversation with me. But I've never once thought you should be just walking. Why can't you do it? No, it's never crossed my mind. And why should it? It's not my personality. It's not my way of being a human. That doesn't cross my mind ever.
It's probably because I think it myself.
Yeah, you think it, and you also think, am I going to ever leave you, and things like that. Like if you stay in a wheelchair, and again, never crossed my mind. But I think you have more of those worries and reservations than I do, which I get because you're dependent on me for a lot of things, or at least you were for 8 years. You're less dependent on me now. You're going to much more of your life back together. But for those many years, if without me or some of the support network we had, it would have been way more difficult. Yeah, but I'm not going anywhere, so you're safe. Sorry, you've got me and my clumsy tea spilling skills.
I think you need to give up with this tea.
No, absolutely not. Yeah. Never ask a Brit to give up their tea. This is sacrilege.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic. I'm super happy that we are traveling as much as we do.
Yeah, me too.
Seeing new places.
And it will continue. For the future, whatever that future is, wherever we are, we'll continue to travel and see places, but we'll do it within a way that is suitable for us and things that we want to do. And, we also do it with traveling back to see family. I've made trips back to the UK to see my family without you because it's easier sometimes, especially if I'm doing 4 or 5 visits within that. I know for you to keep your energy levels up and to...
Yeah, I've really struggled with that.
Really struggle with it. So then I'll do the trip by myself. Or if we're going to the Netherlands to see your family, we'll do a longer stay, but we'll stay now at your parents or your family. And rather than going to one place to another and staying a night, because it really breaks it up and it gets more difficult, or we ask people to come and see us at where we are rather than you visiting around. And I think that's also helped us manage expectations, but also your energy levels and mine as well. You're asking how like I deal with it. I also get tired when we arrive in a place because of the preparation of the wheelchair or going through, making sure assistants are there, making sure we can get you onto the airplane. Is it going to be okay as a wheelchair when it arrives? Like, I also think about a lot of those things. So I think it's really important that we manage our time effectively once we're in a place.
Don't get me wrong. It's not been easy, the moments that you said, I'm going to go by myself because I really want to see people. Like, I felt really, hurt's not the right.
Unseen or?
No, just really annoyed, frustrated, angry, but also extremely sad because I know that in any other situation, I would have always come with you. Unless it's obviously a very personal trip, but like I would have not come because of something physical. I think that is something I still struggle with.
Yeah, I know. Whenever I need to tell you that I'm going somewhere by myself, I know that I'm going to get you feeling quite upset and wanting to go and ask, is there no way that I can come with you? Or is there, a way that we can make this work? And they're difficult conversations because us trying to do what's best for both of us, but individuals at the same time. What's best for me in that situation is sometimes going by myself, and what's best for you is you staying here. We always try and do it together, but I think we also think about each other sometimes probably too much and how the other person is.
Yes.
But that's a healthy thing.
Yeah. And it's not only even traveling with you. I think it's a very healthy thing. It's not only like the traveling with you, it's also the pain that I felt with friends going on holidays where I'm not allowed to join or not able to join. My sister's going on holidays where I'm not able to join.
Or concerts or
events. It's this living grief. And I'm sure I'm going to make a whole podcast about like living grief because it's a topic that needs and allows for a lot of depth. And yes, that is coming up. I come from a family with many girls, many sisters, and we all like to travel. And they also travel together. I'm always worried when I do go with friends or fam, like, can they push me as much as Marcus would push me to places? Do they want to? Am I not being a burden?
They enjoying it as much as they would if I wasn't here.
If I wasn't here, going out, partying and dancing and stuff. How do I do that? I can't.
Well, you can.
I can.
And that's, I think, the other part. Some of anyone that's wanting to take maybe thinks that you can't do these things. You can, as long as it's in a organized, sounds really boring, in an organized manner. No, but if it's in a way that accommodates for you. You and I have been to a couple of parties here in Ibiza. We did it for your birthday one year, my birthday one year. But what we did is we got there early at the venue. We stayed until the time that you got tired, but we were there for 2-3 hours, almost. No, 2 hours. But but I think there's still, you can still go out to a bar. You can still, sit in a chair with everyone else. You don't need to sit in your wheelchair. You can still enjoy an evening laughing and joking. You can still go to one of those places. We've gone to concerts. We've seen Coldplay 1,000 times live. We've seen other concerts as well. You can do all of those things. It's just that we do it maybe from the assistance place in a concert, or we get there a little bit earlier, or we find an area of the restaurant or the bar or the club that is more open.
But I still feel like a burden if it's not with you. If that makes sense.
It makes total sense. But that's something that we need to keep on working on and give you more opportunities to do it with other people.
It's also true.
That's why we do so well with traveling now, is through the practice. We need to get you practicing, going and getting your clubbing shoes on.
Fair enough.
But back to traveling. I think it is a difficult thing for people to do, and I understand why people worry about it. But if there's anything that we've learned, is that it can be done.
Yes.
As long as you are taking ownership of certain situations. I know that I have become way more firm when I get to an airport or on an airplane, and if people are asking you, oh, can she walk down the steps? We don't have the lift. I'm like, okay, well, we'll wait for the lift.
Yeah.
She's not going to walk down the steps. No. And they're like, oh, okay. So I think in those, it's also knowing that you can say no, or that it has to be suitable for you. And that's something that you get more practice with.
Yeah, and I think especially for ambulatory wheelchair users like me, so people who can also...
What does that mean?
ambulatory wheel is basically part-time wheelchair user. So I'm not in a wheelchair all the time, and I can walk and, do some bits, but I'm not fully reliant on the wheelchair.
Yeah.
I think we can get into a place where it's like, I can do some steps technically.
Yeah.
And then this is a very important question to ask yourselves, but is it worth it right now?
Exactly. You can go up and down stairs with a little bit of time and stuff. But like you said, is it worth it?
Yeah.
Is it a dangerous situation? When we got back the other day, it was windy, it was wet. That is not a safe situation for you to go down steps. Not if there is assistance that is there to help you.
Yeah. So really feel that for yourself as well. For people, if people are struggling with this, feel that for yourself. Like, is it worth the limited amount of spoons that I have right now?
Yeah, exactly.
And this is also something that I've really had to explain to people around me. Like, people would ask me, like, why is it that you can't walk through the gates? Or why is it that you can't go up on the steps on an airplane? You don't need assistance anymore, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, it's not worth my limited amount of energy.
No.
I'd rather spend those spoons in Valencia on doing something fun rather than, going up and down the steps.
Yeah, pleasing someone else.
Yeah, pleasing someone else. And it's something that I'm still struggling with sometimes because also my capabilities are increasing. So things take less spoons now than it used to before. And at the same time, I'm still at the place where I'm like, no, it's not worth it. Yeah. I'd rather use up those spoons in the place of destination.
Yeah. I think it's probably a good place for us to end.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was nice.
It was really nice.
It was good to be speaking properly again.
Yeah. And in the same room as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. In the same room. It's much better.
Yeah. If there are any people with any questions for either of us about traveling, how do you travel with a wheelchair, or how do you travel with chronic illness, or just like nice recommendations of places to go, that's also fine. Just drop a comment there where you listen, and I'll make sure that I will respond to you.
Amazing. Or any questions for me as a carer, happy to answer them.
Very good. Also leave them in the comments, and I'll make sure that I'll pass them on to Marcus. Yeah?
Sounds good.
Amazing. Thank you again for being here.
My pleasure.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.